So you recently attended a leadership development program at Harvard. Now, being a senior leader, how has your thoughts and understanding been enhanced through your learnings in this program?
Yeah, so thanks for having me, Anil, and to share my experience and learning of being at Harvard. I think it was a phenomenal experience for me to be there. What stood out the most for me was a case study based, peer driven learning experience, wherein we were exposed to real world complex situations, debated through multiple perspectives by diverse leaders, thereby helping leaders to sharpen their judgment rather than relying on the preconceived answers that they may have. And the learning methodology was such which encouraged a leader to sort of recalibrate their understanding and response towards a particular case or a situation. So that was a real standout. And through multiple case studies on diverse subjects that we had, it helped me in broadening my perspective to the global challenges that we understand. It made me understand how interconnected macro forces like geopolitics, technology disruption, regulatory complexity, and social change may have an organization strategy. I think peer-based interaction and learning from peers who are based out of diverse geographies and industries was also an experience altogether, in terms of having diverse views from different contexts and all, which helped me in understanding of the challenges like supply chain resilience, digital disruption, and workforce transformation that we speak about are actually global in nature. However, each one of them requires a locally tailored response. And so we all know that to be an effective leader, we talk about emotional quotient and intelligent quotient, EQ and IQ.
Yeah.
There we had an interesting learning on contextual intelligence. Now, simply putting, contextual intelligence is the ability of a leader to understand a situation or an environment and to adapt its leadership style accordingly. To simply put it, I mean, for a leader to be contextually intelligent, it needs to have three things. One is to have the understanding of the contextual landscape within which the organization is operating. Number two is the ability to seize the opportunity which is coming out of the context or shape the context itself. And number three is being a reflective leader and change his or her own leadership style and approach to the changing context. Because we are into business, into multiple geographies, and we tend to come across different situations and change in context, which means that we need to respond to those changes, adapt quickly, and execute in a seamless way. So this program actually made me appreciate the role that contextual quotient plays in a leader. And if I were to reflect on my functions or the work that we deliver in the organization, I think it is all about managing short-term execution with long-term vision. And in my view, a leader must not rely on a past playbook. We have consultants who talk about playbook and all. So it is all about understanding the dynamic context within which we are operating, fine-tuning one's response to it, and delivering to it. One of the most important takeaway that I would carry from the program is that effective leadership is not about having all the right answers, but it is more about asking the right questions and at the right time. And that is where you understand about the given situation, the nuances or the intricacies within which one is operating, and it helps you as a leader to take the right decisions. So I would say that this program has actually helped me in reading the context better, connect global trends to local realities, and it has also reinforced the need for having adaptive and purpose-driven leadership, in my view.
So from a VUCA world, we have moved to a Bani world. The complexities are changing. Now, as a leader, how do you foresee the business challenges impacting the organizations in times to come? And having undergone this course at Harvard, how do you think you can contribute to overcome these challenges in our organization?
Thanks for asking this, Anil. So the learnings that I've had in this program, I believe, has helped me in understanding about both these challenges. I believe as a leader, I have become more deliberate and open to understanding of the external changes which are happening in the environment. And while taking call of the operational as well as strategic choices that has to be made for the organization, while keeping into account what is happening outside. So I think as a leader, as I've said earlier, it is important to scan the environment, understand the context, and dynamically adjust to how do you respond to it. And if I see it from the context of leadership, which emphasizes different roles of the leaders at different stages of the organization, of that of a visionary architecture coach or a catalyst to change and innovation. I believe that different organizations, one is the parent organization within which you operate, and the functions that you lead, they operate of different stages depending on the process maturity that you have. And therefore, as a leader at different stages, it is important for you to identify at what stage your organization is and to press the priority for your organization to deliver. I think that is one important learning that I've had from the program. I also believe that my understanding around building resilience across supply chain and digital team has been enhanced. While we do functionally what is to be done to ensure that we are resilient to respond to these changes, I also believe that as a leader, I'll need to foster a culture wherein which is adaptive, learning, and continuously innovating. That is what I believe. That is a takeaway that I have from the program. And therefore, as a leader, it is important that how do you motivate your teams to make sure that they continuously improve on whatever they are doing. Now, you may not be calling it as an innovation, but continuous improvement is a stream of innovation. Not every function will get to innovate, but I believe as a leader in whatever we do, we can make it a way of working. Most importantly, if you ask me about these challenges which I mentioned, I believe that it is less about individual initiatives, but more about having the right leadership mindset, governance, and organizational behavior at scale, because it is also an interplay of multiple function. And therefore, how as a leader, we are able to reflect on in an ongoing way of what the context is evolving, what are the challenges which are coming, and how do you sort of respond to it. And if collectively we are able to do it, I think as an organization will be prepared to address those challenges.
I assume you had great learnings and experiences around global leadership at the Harvard. What aspect of this resonates with the culture of innovation at Zydus? And which of these global insights can be adapted to further strengthen our organization?
That's a very relevant question, Anil, I would say. And we had good couple of case studies at Harvard on innovation. In fact, we also had a half-day design thinking workshop wherein we followed a structured approach of innovating through a process, which was kind of an experience for me. What resonated most with me was about at Harvard was about the learning and leadership approach, which was deliberately designed to fuel innovative mindset and not just as a methodology. I mean, the way the discussion groups happened before the case studies, which was in a limited group, and then further on to the classroom, meant that each one of us had to be prepared. We had to share our point of view, and then learning from global peers also meant that we were able to revisit those point of view. So this curiosity based learning, peer based diverse perspective reinforced the idea that innovation can thrive if as a leader we are able to set the conditions right, which in my view are three. which is psychological safety, openness to challenge, and designed experimentation, or I would say controlled experimentation. If you ask me to relate to the culture that we have as an organization, I believe we have been practicing the same by encouraging our teams to think beyond the conventional boundaries, while at the same time making sure that they execute well. This program also helped me in learning that for innovation to thrive, it does not mean that it needs to operate, without a structure, especially for a company like ours or the industry within which we operate. Innovation can operate within the structure, wherein the structure can itself be an enabler to speed and new ideas. As a leader, I believe that my role will shift from directing of the innovation to architecting the ecosystem wherein the innovation thrives by designing appropriate forums or governance. And here I would want to give you an idea, like the three functions that I lead of supply chain, IT, and projects. During our offsite, we have a session called IDEA, which is imagine, design, execute, and achieve. And over a period of last 2 years, we have had a good idea bank of about 72 ideas. So the thing is that, these are my mid-level to senior level managers who are taking care of various verticals within these three functions. They are supposed to come out with one idea wherein they feel that they can make a difference by doing some value addition, and it can be in terms of process enhancement or revisiting the process altogether. And the only condition being that they will be themselves responsible for the execution of the idea. So we have had a good run, and so in the first year, almost 50% of the ideas got executed, and we could see a significant progress in terms of cost optimization, process enhancement, better customer outreach, digital enablement, and all. So I believe if we are able to create such ecosystem within the function, although this is not a complete innovation, but this is a stream of continuous improvement, as I would say, in the operations. But when you are chasing that, I am sure that you will, and which we have, you'll chance upon one or two ideas which can be categorized as innovation, which will fundamentally change the way you have been working on a process. And that gives you that leverage. So I think as an organization, we need to encourage more such forums within the function, which will give the opportunity to people who are working at the ground to come out with ideas which can, at times lead to innovation as well.